I was born into a dynasty of shadows and steel. My father, Howard Wayne, was an architect of the future. He built empires not from stone, but from engines, weapons, reactors, machines that bent the will of nations. My mother, Martha, believed in something softer. She spent her life giving, not taking, healing the wounds wealth left unseen. To the world, they were untouchable. To me, they were simply home. And one night, that home was ripped away. I was only 8, small enough to cling to my mother's coat in the cold, but old enough to understand the sound of footsteps closing in. A gun, the flash, my father's voice breaking as he shielded us, the warmth of my mother's hand trembling, then slipping away. The alley swallowed everything. My innocence, my family, my world. After that, silence became my constant companion. Silence in the mansion, silence at the table, silence in my chest louder than any scream. But silence doesn't stay empty. It fills with something else, with grief, with rage, with a question that clawed at me every single night. Why them? Why not me? I searched for answers. I searched for meaning. And one night, when the mansion walls became too heavy, I ran. I ran until the ground betrayed me. I fell into darkness, into a cavern vast and hollow, the earth's lungs breathing around me. My bones screamed, pain exploded, and then I heard it. The wings, thousands of them, a storm of black rising, circling and suffocating. Their claws brushing my skin, fangs whispering against my ear. The bats didn't just surround me, they consumed me. That night, I learned something vital. Fear is a language, one that I would spend the rest of my life mastering. The years blurred after that. I inherited a fortune. But what is wealth to a child who has lost everything? Anthony Wayne, billionaire heir, genius prodigy, and prisoner of a question I could not answer. So, I made myself an answer. I hardened my body. I sought masters in every shadow the world had to offer. I studied martial disciplines in frozen monasteries, bled on desert sands, choked on smoking back alley fight pits. I learned silence, patience, precision. I dissected fear, tore it apart until it was no longer my enemy but my weapon. Still, flesh has limits, and I refused to accept limits. I turned to my father's world, iron, circuitry, invention. I used that to push Wayne Tech Industries, to make a profit, to keep the business going. But deep down, I buried myself in schematics until day and night were indistinguishable. I built weapons, not for war, but for vengeance. I forged devices that could peel back the skin of crime and expose its beating heart. When my body failed under the strain, when my heart faltered, I did what no child should have to do. I rebuilt myself. I cut into my chest and I lit a fire inside it. I created a weapon, an arc reactor, and it became my second heartbeat, my engine of survival, something to stabilize my heart, something to make my heart endure all the pain and stress I was putting it through. I was no longer just a man. I was something other. And I was not alone. Alvis, my butler, my best friend through all these tough times. More than just a servant, he was my guardian, the last living thread that tied me to my parents' world. He tended my wounds, he guided my temper, he reminded me when I drifted too far into the abyss. but even he saw the hunger in me. He knew it couldn't be contained. In the cavern where fear first claimed me, I found my answer. The bats, they weren't weakness. They weren't prey. They ruled the night because night itself bowed to them. They were terror. They were myth. They were the mask I would wear. I created a suit. The suit became my exoskeleton, my tomb, my resurrection. Steel wings forged from grief, armor etched with silence, a reactor's glow burning through the dark like a second soul. It was not built for admiration. It was built to haunt. I became the Iron Bat. This city doesn't need hope. Hope dies in alleys. Hope bleeds out on the pavement. What New Gotham needed was fear. And I was fear incarnate. My first night in the suit is burned into me like a scar. The Narrows were drowning, gangs carving it open, fire in the streets, families running from shadows, the police deaf to their cries. The city begged for justice, but justice never came. So I came. I fell from the sky like judgment. Engines roared, wings split the air, and the first man never even screamed before my gauntlet crushed him into silence. The rest scattered, panic in their eyes, courage evaporating under the ark's glow. Their bullets sang, sparks rained across my armor, every ricochet a hymn to inevitability. I advanced through fire, untouchable. I was not fast, I was relentless, a shadow draped in iron. They called me a demon. They were right. I broke bones with precision, but never more. I drew blood, but never final breaths. Death is a release, and release is mercy. No, mercy is not for them. Mercy is for the ones who still suffer in their wake. I would not grant them escape. I would grant them fear. Fear so deep it carved itself into their marrow. Fear that spread faster than their poison. That is my rule, my creed. I will not kill, not because I am merciful, not because I am kind, but because killing ends the lesson. Death silences the scream, and I want the scream to echo forever. When it was over, the Narrows were quiet. Families emerged, trembling, unsure if the shadow before them was savior or curse. They saw the glow of my chest, the wings folding behind me, the silhouette that was neither man nor machine. They saw the Iron Bat. Later, Elvis asked me if it was worth it, if any of this, the pain, the scars, the endless night, my mission, could ever give me peace. Peace? Peace is a dream for the naive. What I lost cannot be restored. What was taken from me cannot be returned. But justice can be built. Justice can descend from the sky on wings of iron. I am Anthony Wayne. I am the fear I once endured. I am vengeance bound in steel. I am the Iron Bat, and New Gotham will never forget me.